Over the past year as a YouTube strategist, I've had access to YouTube's new A/B testing feature. I've used it on a ton of creators' channels to fine-tune their thumbnails, and there are a few things that I've learned that you absolutely need to know to get more views. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break this video down into 3 separate parts. The first is that I'm going to help you to understand the basics of A/B testing if you've never done this before. And then I'm going to talk about my top 3 tips for thumbnail testing that consistently get results. And then I'm going to cover the common mistakes that I see people making and how to avoid them. Part number 1, understanding the basics. If you haven't used a thumbnail A/B testing tool before, it's a game changer for finding the best thumbnail that gets your viewers clicking. When we A/B test, we're basically showing 2 to 3 different thumbnails to our audience to see which variation is the best at getting people to click. Some tools have been around for years that have allowed us to do this, but they come at a monthly cost. The good news is that YouTube has just released its free version of these tools, which everyone now has access to. So if you don't know where to find this tool, you'll find it when uploading a new video or in the details page of videos that you've already uploaded. All you need to do is scroll down to the thumbnail section, click on test and compare, and then this is where you're going to see 3 different thumbnails that you can upload to be tested. Once you click done, YouTube will show these 3 thumbnails to your audience simultaneously and begin showing you the watch time share for each thumbnail. If you don't know what watch time share means, it just means out of the people that clicked, which thumbnail led to the most viewers watching the longest. Once complete, YouTube will automatically set the winning thumbnail as the default, which everyone will then see. All right, now that we've managed to get all of that out of the way, let's talk about my top 3 tips. Tip number 1 is to screenshot your results. This is important because currently YouTube only shows the latest test results. The second that you create a new test, those results are then lost forever. So keeping a record of what thumbnails won and then also writing a little bit about why you think that is pretty essential. The way that I've been doing this with my clients is by using this Notion template, which I created, that lets you log the screenshots so you can keep them forever and you're not going to lose them every single time you want to start a new A/B test. And then you can write a little bit why they won. There's also an area where we have a list of the patterns and trends that we notice results in more clicks with our viewers. This means that every time we're in the thumbnail creation process, we have a list of things that work and a list of things we should avoid putting in the thumbnail, as we know that they've not performed well in the past. If you actually want to download this free template to use, I've put a link in the description. Tip number 2 is to test the big differences first and then the refinements second. So if you watch any of the many awesome videos between MrBeast and John Yushai, which I highly recommend, you'll see that Jimmy A/B tests by starting the test with significantly different thumbnails to identify the best concept. And then once he has a winner, only then does he run additional tests with minor variations to refine it. Okay, so think about it this way. You don't really want to start off testing the difference between a yellow arrow, a red arrow, or a blue arrow, as the difference between these things in a thumbnail is going to be really small compared to different thumbnails entirely. And so you really want to nail in like 3 different concepts. My advice to you would be really to push yourself to get into the habit of creating 3 different concepts per video. Even if you can only get 2 thumbnail concepts per video, that's way better than just sticking with one concept that you think is really strong, but actually it could be kind of poor. The best thing you can always do is to test it with the market, right? Like show it to actual viewers and let them choose. And so trying to get more than one concept is really important. For example, in this video I worked on with Grow Veg, we only had 2 concepts. And you can see that one of these concepts was a before and after, which we thought would do quite well. But it actually underperformed compared to the thumbnail with Ben holding the large ginger up, with the promise of growing it at home. And this resulted in the video getting over 1.4 million views. Take this video as well. We had done a first round of thumbnail tests. We found that the winning concept was actually Ben holding a bucket of mushrooms. So after that, we then created 3 different variations. One of these was the clear winner, and this helped the video to get 900k views, far above what they typically see on the YouTube channel. Tip number 3 is to repeat your tests periodically. Now, a common mistake that my clients tend to make, which I keep having to remind them not to do, is to stop taking the first result as gospel. From my past experience, we've noticed that even if thumbnail A wins in the first test, this result can actually change to thumbnail B after a few days. For this reason, we actually want to test thumbnails multiple times. It's important to remember that in the first 24 hours to a week, data can obviously be very skewed by returning viewers. So this is why it's important to retest periodically to adapt to changing viewer preferences and trends. What might work in that first week might underperform actually a month later when it's shown to new viewers, which is obviously a type of viewer that we want to be attracting because that's how you grow your channel. You can't grow a channel if you never get new viewers clicking. So what we need to do is find the thumbnail that appeals to both returning and new viewers. Another thing I would say as well to remember is that some videos have thumbnails which perform very well on the homepage, but quite poorly in search, and vice versa. When you first upload a video and you test 2 different thumbnails straight away, YouTube will show your video to subscribers on the homepage. This might make it look like one thumbnail is better than the other, even if it's not. So to get a more accurate result, you should test your thumbnails multiple times once your traffic or volume and sources have stabilized. This is going to allow you to select a more accurate winner. So please test your thumbnails multiple times over weeks, months, or even years later. I once changed a thumbnail for Ali Abdaal's popular investment video, which already had 2 million views on it, just to make it a little bit more eye-catching because I thought it was a little bit dull. And this simple change kickstarted the algorithm to show the video again, and it boosted the views from that video from 2 million to 6 million. So updating thumbnails, even just with like a tiny little change months or years later, can actually help your video to get more views and for YouTube showing it to more people. Okay, so part 3 is the common mistakes. So let's wrap this up with some rapid fire common mistakes and how to fix them. So number 1 is overlooking external factors. This is something that I've seen a few times where if you have a video that will be watched more in the summer months, like how to grill the perfect steak on a barbecue, don't test this in the Christmas period when views and watch time could be down across the board. This could also mean that YouTube selects what it thinks is the best thumbnail when it actually could be the weaker thumbnail. So consider trending topics, seasonal changes, or events that might be influencing your results. Again, this is why I kind of say you should be testing periodically to just ensure that you actually are selecting the best thumbnail for that particular video. Mistake number 2 is ignoring viewer feedback. So the next thing that you should be doing is paying very close attention to your comments as well as your likes and dislike ratio, because it can give some clues to actually reveal if your winning thumbnail is attracting the wrong type of viewer, or if your viewers actually feel that you're using clickbait tactics, which obviously can damage your relationship with your audience, and this can lead to less clicks in the future. Perfect example of this is Graham Stephan. If you've not seen him before, he's a creator that makes a lot of videos on finance, and he uses these negative emotion tactics in his thumbnails constantly. But this has sort of led to his reputation getting damaged because he can't be 100% trusted anymore, because he's constantly stating that the markets are going to crash, which eventually waters down his messaging, and no one's going to trust him now. So keep an eye on your comments, look at your likes and dislikes, make sure that you're not selling the dream or over-promising something to people in your packaging when the content actually does not live up to what you're telling them in the title and the thumbnail. Common mistake number 3 is not verifying your results. As this is still a beta tool, it makes mistakes. A lot of people, again, are taking things for gospel. And kind of just letting YouTube select the thumbnail and do its thing. But there's been a few times where I've actually looked at my client's results and the tool has selected the winner despite having a lower watch time share and another thumbnail actually winning. So you always want to sort of just double check, because this is a beta tool. It's going to have glitches, it's going to break. And so just make sure that it's not selecting the wrong thumbnail. As a quick reminder, remember to download the free Notion template to keep track of your results. The link to that is in the description. There's also another video on that web page and also a loom inside of the Notion template that kind of gives more of my philosophy for what it means to come up with strong packaging that gets you more clicks over the long term, and how to really test and keep track of everything. And like I said, it's completely for free. So if you want to check that out. The link's in the description. I would say if you're struggling to make different thumbnails to test, you might want to click this video over here where I explain how one small change that I made to a thumbnail skyrocketed my clients' views from 13,000 views to over 700,000, and how you can actually implement this strategy into your own videos. All right, have a good day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.